Good afternoon and welcome to Channel 8 News.
On today's show, we'll take a look at how one education association is encouraging people across the nation to get more informed.
And later we'll hear about how schools are encouraging and discouraging different types of learning here and across the country. But first, let's take a look outside with our weather woman, Kenya Mills.
Kenya, how's it looking out there?
Thanks, ladies. The weather is absolutely beautiful right now. I know all of Kansas is seeing partly cloudy skies today, but right now there's a lot of sunshine out here. And guess what? There may be a lot of sunshine for you in the future. I'll have that five-day weather forecast coming up next.
This is Channel 8 News, KKSU LP. For Manhattan and Riley County. From Kansas State University, this is Channel 8 News.
Welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Gretchen Kanan.
And I'm Carly Craig. Universities in Kansas are seeing a drop in enrollment, and Kansas State is no exception. K-State has seen its first drop in enrollment in 9 years, with enrollment dropping by 620 students. The total enrollment for the fall 2015 semester is 24,146, which has dropped from the fall 2014 semester. Fortunately, this drop in enrollment has not affected everyone. The College of Engineering has had an increase in enrollment and has almost reached its targeted enrollment number set to meet requirements of the University Engineering Initiative Act. The act plans to increase engineering graduates in the state of Kansas by 60% over the 10-year period. Engineering enrollment at K-State has already increased by almost 500 students since the initiative was set in place in 2011.
That's an interesting update on enrollment, Carly. Speaking of updates, for those of you who don't keep up to date with the news on a regular basis, this is the day we encourage you to get engaged. With the news, of course.
I was just going to say, Gretchen, these students are suffering with midterms already. That's a little stressful.
Seriously.
No. Today marks the second annual National News Engagement Day, a program put on by the Association for Education in Journalism and Mass Communication. Channel 8's Ashlyn Turner is here on the set to tell us what this day is all about.
I am. This very idea of this day is to encourage our society and community members to read into news stories instead of just brushing over headlines like most of us do while looking at apps on our phones. K-State journalism professor Kelly Furness talks to us about why News Engagement Day is so important, not only to students, but to the larger community as well.
Yeah, I mean, the research on news engagement has shown that this generation, especially millennials, do not engage with the news at the levels of previous generations. And so the idea is how can we provide the resources, the training, the programming to students at K-State and students everywhere to understand the importance and the ways to engage with the news.
Furness encourages everyone to take just a few minutes out of their day to not just read the headlines of the latest breaking news stories, but dive in and learn more about that story. For those that are watching right now, you can put your knowledge of today's news to the test to see if you can figure out which news stories are real and which ones are fake by taking a quiz online.
Ashlyn, now where can we find this quiz?
Actually, everyone can find the quiz online at jmc.ksu.edu.
Do I get a prize if I get to take this quiz?
Well, I can't guarantee you will get a prize. It depends on how well you know your news, but for those who do answer every question correctly, prizes will be given out. So go ahead, get some news, get some reading in of those headlines, and have some fun.
We'll definitely have to check that out. Thanks, Ashlyn.
Awesome.
From national education programs to something a little more local, Manhattan High School's annual football barbecue fundraiser is coming up this Friday at Bishop Stadium. The fundraiser will take place at 6 p.m. as the varsity football team takes on their rivals, the Junction City Blue Jays, in the 7th annual Silver Trophy game. Tackle your hunger and support the Manhattan High football team by enjoying a barbecue sandwich, chips, and a drink, all for $5. The game is blackout, so remember to wear black and get ready to cheer on the Indians to another victory.
In other news, police are investigating an incident involving a deceased cow who was found at the purebred beef unit on Sunday. After further investigation, police found that the deceased cow had been shot. Anyone with further information regarding the incident is encouraged to contact the K-State Police Department at 785-532-6412. You can also submit tips through the LifeSafe app or through the Silent Witness website at www.ksu.edu/police/silent. Coming up after the break, we'll see how local elementary students got a chance to put their science skills to the test in a project where the sky was literally the limit. We'll also take a look at some books students aren't allowed to check out.
And later on, we'll have a visit from the Sunset Zoo where they take care of something even crazier than the students.
It was a routine grain elevator inspection until the explosions began. Until a blast tossed him more than 300 feet. Then it became the event that changed Kevin Saunders forever. The body of this K-State alum was broken, but his spirit, well, that spirit not only survived, it thrived. Against all odds, Saunders transformed himself into the world's greatest wheelchair athlete, one of America's premier motivational speakers, and the first Paralympian appointed to the President's Council on Physical Fitness, Sport, and Nutrition. Where there's a Wildcat, there's a way. Wired magazine calls him the explainer. His students call him amazing. Over 20 million YouTube views show that Associate Anthropology Professor Michael Wesch is transforming higher education. Translated to more than 20 languages and counting, Professor Wesch's teachings still share one common voice: passion. And whether you're learning live or online, that passion is contagious. And that passion is one of the leading reasons Kansas State University is first among U.S. public research universities in producing U.S. Case Carnegie Professors of the Year. Where there's a Wildcat, there's a way.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. Take a stroll down memory lane to remember your favorite novel, short story, or poem. Odds are that at one time, that story was banned from schools and libraries. Last week, K-State hosted a National Banned Book Week to bring awareness to censorship of such stories. Channel 8 News reporter Vanessa Vlasic went to find out more about the significance of this week.
Harry Potter, Catcher in the Rye, To Kill a Mockingbird. Books that are popular among people of all ages. Stories like these are being added each year to the list of censored material. Slowly but surely, these books and many more are becoming banned from schools and libraries. The week of September 27th through October 3rd was the national celebration of Banned Books Week, a time to recognize the freedom to read.
We have readouts of challenged and banned books where people can volunteer to spend about 5 or 10 minutes reading from their favorite book.
Students and faculty participated in many ways. Volunteers read from various banned books at Bosco Plaza. During the week, a panel discussed experiences and issues related to books that are being challenged today.
I think it's important to K-State because it brings a lot of these issues to light that we don't spend a lot of time talking about.
Hundreds of books are disputed for questionable content in schools and libraries in the U.S. every year. According to the American Library Association, in 2014 alone, 311 books were banned. Anyone that objects to the content of a book can challenge the school or library to have it removed. Banned Books Week brings awareness to the issue of censorship in education and how it affects readers of all ages.
It implies that the most important thing about a child's readiness intellectually or emotionally is their age, and we know that that's not the case. There are a lot of things that we can do in education to maybe prevent book challenges from happening or work through those challenges when they do happen.
By raising awareness during the week, educators and librarians shed light on the issues of censorship. The freedom to read allows for students to discover different perspectives and topics.
If you missed out on Banned Book Week, take a trip to Hale Library to check out your favorite banned book, or visit www.bannedbooksweek.org or for a complete list of these books.
From banned books to rocket science, students in Manhattan are learning to dream big. Last Thursday, students at Bergman Elementary got a chance to put their rocket science skills to the test. Channel 8's Caitlin Heyer has more on that story.
3, 2, 1. Blast off! Students at Bergman Elementary School in Manhattan are launching themselves into the world of rocketry. Through project-based learning, these 6th graders have built, tested, retested, and collected data from their very own rockets.
This unit on rocketry, it puts every kid on the same playing field, because regardless of they're either a great math student or not, they can watch and they can learn and they can listen.
The students have been working on improving their rocket since the beginning of September by testing different variables. Now they finally get to see their work take off.
They learn a lot. We go through the area of a triangle and a parallelogram, and they learn to measure water and mass and grams. And prior to the whole launching, we went through the history of rocketry and Newton's laws of motion. So across the curriculum, it covers a lot of areas.
When he was young, Eichhoff loved things that flew through the sky. Now he shares his passion with his students through science.
When I started this unit 12 years ago and I enjoyed it, I knew that kids in 6th grade would enjoy it as much as I do.
With any kind of science comes setbacks, but Eichhoff says persistence will pay off.
What I want them to take away is that through failure we can achieve success.
They may not be rocket scientists, but these 6th graders sure had a blast.
What a great way for those students to get fun hands-on experience with science. It makes me reminisce on my days of 6th grade science class. Do you remember doing any cool, fun science experiments?
You know, Carly, all I can remember is making a volcano with baking soda and vinegar. It's great to see how much science has improved to better educate this generation's students.
Definitely. After the break, we'll find out what Sunset Zoo has in store for the upcoming season and what the Manhattan community can look forward to during the zoo's October festivities.
Weatherwoman Kenya Mills will also return for an update on what we can expect outside this week.
And later on, we'll take a look at sports. Stay with us.
A Wildcat legacy from generation to generation.
Where my grandfather went to school.
Where my mother went to school.
It's a legacy scholarship program started by the K-State Alumni Association, specifically for the children and grandchildren of K-State alumni. When you buy a K-State license plate, you fund legacy scholarships.
Show your purple pride and be a part of the Wildcat legacy.
Kansas State University's PowerCat Financial Counseling presents SALT, a game-changing financial tool. It's simple, useful, and best of all, free for K-State students and alumni. SALT provides personal money coaches, help with student loans, and a wide range of career opportunities. Go online to kstate.edu/SALT and see what SALT is all about. Get money smart today.
K-State Student Radio brings every game to K-State fans on the Wildcat 91.9.
Line's going to take a pitch out to the right. Hubert dices his way up and into the end zone for the Wildcat touchdown. Takes the snap. He's going to roll out. He's going to throw deep over the middle of the field for Tyler Lockett. Catches it. 15-10, 5, touchdown, Kansas State.
For all of your K-State sports coverage, tune into the Wildcat 91.9.
Kids have the chance to get some of their trick-or-treat fever out of the way early at the Sunset Zoo. Avery Olson joins us in the studio along with Assistant Zoo Director Ella Casey to tell us more.
Yeah, thanks, Carly. First, Ella, thanks for being with us today. I understand this is a big event at Sunset Zoo coming up later this month. Can you tell us what's going on?
Sure. So it's our annual trick-or-treat event. It's a family-friendly event, even though it's got spook in the title. And so we invite our community members to come out and trick-or-treat at the zoo. You can see some animals, and you can also get some great candy.
When is this event taking place this year?
It's Saturday and Sunday, so it's October 24th and 25th, a little bit before Halloween, so you can hit all those Halloween festivities. And it's noon to 4:30 both days.
How many people have come out to this event in the past?
On our record-breaking years, we were seeing well over 5,000 people. So that's about 2,500 per day. It kind of evens out with both days. So it's a great event for our community and lots of families, lots of kids. It's awesome.
When did this spooktacular event begin?
So I was looking that up for you. You asked me that in advance to this. It looks like it began somewhere in the late 90s or early 2000s. So we've been doing this for a couple decades now. We used to do it more an evening event at night, and it was really scary, and the community really wanted something a little bit more oriented for young kids. So we switched to the spooktacular event, and it's been super successful ever since.
So the kids kind of get a discount, or parents would get a discount.
Right.
Can you tell us about kind of the bargain that you guys give?
Sure. So it's $5 per kid that wants to trick or treat. So even if they're 1.5 years old and they want to get candy, it's $5 per kiddo. But 2 adults are admitted free of charge with that paid child. So it's a really great deal. We're not going to charge the adults. We understand you're running those kids around in their costumes that day, but you can also check out the animals while you're walking around.
What is your favorite part about this event?
So you're busy getting ready for it all year, and it gets really stressful in October, and then you see those first couple kids come in and they just have a smile on their face, and it makes it completely worth it.
Last question for you. Can people get tickets for this in advance?
Absolutely. So to help avoid those long ticket lines, you can go to sunsetzoo.com and you can purchase your spooktacular ticket in advance.
Thank you very much for being with us today, Ella. Don't forget to visit Sunset Zoo on October 24th and 25th for their spooktacular event. Carly and Gretchen, what was your favorite Halloween costume when you were a kid?
I think my favorite costume was when I was Catwoman. That was pretty fun.
I don't know. I don't think anybody could top off being a pink Power Ranger for 3 years straight. I was pretty big into that.
Hey, now.
But anyway, dressing up and trick-or-treating on Halloween was always so much fun as a kid. Thank you, Avery.
Speaking of fall activities, weather woman Kenya Mills is here to update us on what we can expect to see outside this week.
Kenya, is the weather going to allow us to do some fun stuff outside in the October festivities?
Absolutely, a lot of great stuff. I would absolutely recommend it. If you have a grill, take it out this weekend. So right now, as you can see, it's partly cloudy skies. The temperature is 74 degrees, absolutely beautiful in Kansas today. Of course, I do want to show you right now the national temperatures. So here we are. The national map is showing us national temperatures right now are 70s in the West Coast. And of course, over here we've got 80s in the East Coast, and going up to Washington, D.C., you can see it's 70 degrees. Kansas, we're seeing 72 to 74 degrees right now. It's absolutely beautiful outside. Don't quote me on that one, of course. And Texas, it's in the 80s. Let's go on to the national map, please. So we've got a pressure system right here in the East Coast, the West Coast. We've got a low, low current. It's causing a little bit of thunderstorms in this area. And over here, the high pressure system is causing a lot of rain on the East Coast. Moving on to the Kansas map, like I said, a whole lot of cloudy skies today. All across Kansas, you can see it's all in the 70s. Enjoying some beautiful weather today, and our 5-day weather forecast, well, it's impressive. If you like to be outdoors, this is the weekend to do it. I know for the 5-day weather forecast, I was at the pumpkin patch this weekend. I definitely recommend you go out this weekend again. It's going to be sunny skies Saturday and Sunday, but there is some rainfall happening Thursday. So tomorrow you'll see a high of 81, Thursday high of 88, Friday, high of 72, Saturday, a high of 79, and Sunday, a high of 88 again. And that's my 5-day weather forecast. Back to you, ladies.
Thanks, Kenya. I can't wait to spend the weekend outside enjoying this fall weather. Up next, we'll have sports reporter Avery Osen in the studio to update us on what's going on in the sports world.
And later, we'll take one final look at the weather.
For behind-the-scenes access and up-to-the-minute news, get connected with K-State Athletics on social media. Search K-State Sports to join the conversation today.
Powerful ideas are sparked by a natural curiosity.
it could begin with a single seed or a brilliant ray of light. At Kansas State University, it begins with research that advances the world, where science and creativity meet. At Kansas State University, powerful ideas begin with you.
K-State Student Radio brings every game to K-State fans on the Wildcat 91.9.
Klein's going to take a pitch out to the right. Hubert dices his way up and into the end zone for the Wildcat touchdown. Takes the snap. He's going to roll out. He's going to throw deep over the middle of the field for Tyler Lockett. Catches it. 15-10, 5, touchdown, Kansas State.
For all of your K-State sports coverage, tune into the Wildcat 91.9.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. The K-State football team took on Oklahoma State in Stillwater this past Saturday.
Sports reporter Avery Osen has highlights, but first, the Manhattan High School football team hosted Topeka West this past Friday night.
Thanks, Gretchen and Carly. It's been a very good start for the Indians as they are 3-1 on the season. And get this, in 3 games that they've won, they have outscored their opponents 137-21. Let's get to the highlights. In the first quarter, it's 2nd and goal as quarterback Ian Trapp tosses it to Zach Cox. He finds the end zone. Later in the first quarter, Trapp again finds Jalen Liggins, who glides into the end zone, and it's 13-0 Indians until this 2-point trickery from Manhattan High School into the end zone, 15-0 Indians. Got to show the defense a little bit of love. They've been great this year. How about Nate McCharles comes up with a sack of the quarterback, eventually setting up this final drive of the half from the Indians. It's Liggins again as Manhattan cruises from there and wins 50-7. They move to 4-1 on the year and will host Junction City next weekend at 7 p.m. at home in Bishop Stadium. From Manhattan High School to K-State football, the opening minutes of the first quarter, quarterback Joe Hubner trying to extend a play but gets hit in the head. We'll see it again, extending the play on 2nd and 2, gets the first down but gets hit in the head hard. He would leave the game, which puts the ball in wide receiver Cody Cook's hands, and he runs it in from 2 yards, 7-0 Wildcats. Later in the first, Cook, a little shake and bake past 2 defenders. He'll run all the way to the 4-yard line. Wildcats in business. 2 plays later, Cook says, "Hey, I have an arm too." He finds little Gronk, Glenn Gronkowski, for a touchdown. Cats back up by 7. Wildcat Deontay Burton wants in on the fun too as Cook finds him in the end zone. Wildcats offense firing on all cylinders. Following a 3rd and 23 conversion, Mason Rudolph finds Marcel Aitman in the end zone to close the gap 28-20 going into the break. After Cook gets hurt in the fourth quarter, back comes Joe Hubner. Late fourth quarter now, and Hubner on 4th and 3, trying to extend the game with 3 minutes left. He finds the end zone. Wildcats up 1, but not for long as the Cowboys drive the length of the field, capped off by this 37-yard field goal by Ben Grogan. And the Wildcats fall 36-34 and are now 3-1 on the season. They will host number 2 ranked TCU this Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Last weekend, the KSU cross-country teams recorded top 5 finishes at the Cowboy Jamboree. The women's team finished in 5th place with a score of 117, while the men's team finished in 4th with a team score of 125. Here's a look at the graphics as the women's team rounded out as Morgan Wedekai was the top finisher for KSU at the time of 21 minutes and 26 seconds. And the winner of the race was Rachel Reddy from Alabama, who finished at 21 minutes and 2 seconds. Now at the men's side, sophomore Colton Donahue finished in 10th at 25 minutes and 23 seconds, while the winner crossed the finish line at 24 minutes and 31 seconds. Both teams' next race will be at the Bradley Classic on October 16th in Illinois. Just a couple quick side notes. The KSU volleyball team traveled to Fort Worth, Texas this past Saturday, but lost 3-2 in 5 sets to the Horned Frogs. Their next contest is on Saturday night against Iowa State at 6:30 p.m. And the Royals will begin their quest to go back to the World Series on Thursday when they begin their best-of-5 series with either Houston or New York, depending on who wins the wild card game that takes place tonight.
Let's hope they take the crown again this year. How are the Kansas City Chiefs playing lately, Avery?
Well, Carly, they are struggling right now as they are 1-3 this season, but 3 of their 5 losses have come to the 5 undefeated teams left in the NFL, so there is still some hope for the Chiefs faithful as their schedule gets a bit easier down the road.
Lots of fun going on in the sports world right now. Thanks, Avery. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.
Around here, school pride isn't just some slogan on a t-shirt. It's the spirit that comes from understanding we are stronger when we're together. That's the essence of K-State Proud, a nationally recognized student-led fundraising campaign. In just 6 years, K-State Proud has helped raise more than $500,000 to help students who need it most and appreciate it best. Think of it as Philanthropy 101. K-State Proud. It's just one more way the Kansas State family treats one another, well, like family. Where there's a Wildcat, there's a way. Class, study. Class, eat. Play, play, play. Study. Class, chill. Class, eat, study, play, study. Sometimes it seems there just aren't enough hours in the day at our 3 campuses, so you have to make every minute count, especially those precious first few. That's why Kansas State alum Herbert Diamond invented the snooze alarm, a dorm room fixture. Because even when you can't wait to get started, sometimes it's nice to wait to get started. Where there's a Wildcat, there's a way.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. Let's take one more look outside with our weather woman, Kenya Mills. Kenya?
You can bask in the sun, and that's exactly the kind of weather you're going to be seeing this Saturday and Sunday, so make sure you make a lot of outdoor plans. Back to you, girls.
Thanks for watching Channel 8 News.
Be sure to check back next week for the latest news from Riley County and Junction City.
Can't wait to hear about that. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much for joining us.
Have a great afternoon, everybody.
Thank you.
Kansas State University. Channel 8 News.
Around here, school pride isn't just some slogan on a t-shirt. It's the spirit that comes from understanding we are stronger when we're together. That's the essence of K-State Proud, a nationally recognized student-led fundraising campaign. In just 6 years, K-State Proud has helped raise more than $500,000 to help students who need it most and appreciate it best. Think of it as Philanthropy 101. K-State Proud. It's just one more way the Kansas State family treats one another, well, like family. Where there's a Wildcat, there's a way.